Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we've got the iPhone 8 and it is review time. I've had this thing for a little bit and I'm loving it. Um, it's a great little phone. It's the same size as your 6, 6S, and 7. It does have some case compatibilities with 6 and 6S cases. Not all, but some, okay? So be very careful. Don't buy, in other words, any case that has like a hard shell portion to it, it better be for a 7 or an 8 because the 6 and 6S cases don't work with the iPhone 8. However, any of the more flexible cases or the gel type cases, they seem to work just fine with the 8. So if you're going to be cheap, then yep, you can go to your local dollar store and buy one of those and cheap out and it'll fit. But if it has any kind of a hard shell type thing to it, forget it. It's not going to fit right. I tried it. I actually had a case very similar to an OtterBox, and I thought, okay, well, hey, great. It's got the 2 speaker vents, which is another big thing. Make sure that whatever case you get has both speaker vents. Okay, that's part of compatibility here. Anyways, the iPhone 8 does not have a headphone jack. You have to use a Lightning port set of earbuds that now come with the 8s. With the Lightning port on it, or you would have to buy the adapters, right, and then put on whatever earbuds you wanted. Apple has decided to do away with headphone ports, and they did bring the headphone port back, I believe, on one of their phones anyways, after taking it out because too many people crabbed, and rightly so. Not everybody wants Bluetooth technology earbuds in their head, okay? Like some people like the wire. I don't know why. I personally am not a real huge fan of earbuds, period, other than for my in-ear monitors for doing videos and stuff with. For my music, I need those in-ear monitor buds, but otherwise I can do without them, right? Now I do have some Bluetooth earbuds and I've done reviews on them, and I will continue to do reviews for companies that want me to review their earbuds or whatever, right? I like doing that stuff, and it's great. And you never know, one of these times I might actually get really super hooked on them. It is possible, right? Or maybe my car phone section of my stereo will go down on me and I'll have to use them at that point, in which case I have no problem doing that. But as a general purpose and rule in life, and the way my lifestyle is, I have no use or purpose for carrying a phone on me, listening to MP3s in my head, while I'm driving or while I'm walking. I drive, I have a stereo in my car. I crank it up, right? And I listen to my stereo. I don't do that with earbuds because that distracts me, okay? And distracted driving offenses, they're really strict on that stuff now. If you get caught now with a phone in your hand while driving, even if you're not doing anything with it, they consider that distracted driving too, even if it's just in your hand. But yeah, talking and texting, hands-free operation only in vehicles, they'll leave you alone. But if they catch this in your hand, you're in trouble. So that's just the way it goes. Now, I think that pretty much goes to the U.S. and Canada. I live in Canada. Our laws are pretty strict on this sort of stuff. Rightly so, because there's a lot of people that should not be anywhere near a phone where they're talking. Some even shouldn't even be hands-free because they tend to keep looking at their stereo, talking to the person, and that's distractive. But that's just a few people are like that. The majority of us can actually talk and drive at the same time. I know I can. I can talk, drive, drink, pop, and have a cigarette all at the same time. No big deal. Anyways, probably shouldn't be doing some of that either. But the iPhone 8 is a great little phone. It's plenty fast. It's got really nice speed to it, lots of memory in it. This is also the 64 gig storage version model. Now, when they talk about gigabytes here on phones, they generally talk about the storage space. So you've got 16, you got 32, 64, 128, 256, half a terabyte now. It's like, oh, what would I do with a half a terabyte in a flippin' phone? I mean, I've got a 1 terabyte hard drive in my Mac, and I don't even really use it because I store everything on an external 1 terabyte drive. This way, if my internal goes down, all my stuff is safe, right? Because I learned my lesson before by not having one hooked in. But anyway, this is a 64 gig model. It is more than enough space for most people, okay? If you play video games and you like, the higher end video games, this phone can more than play them. It does have the 4K camera, which is nice, which drops down to 1080p and 720, and it'll do 60 frames per second, and it does slow-mo, it does panoramic, it does all the same features as any other iPhone, except it does it much better and quicker and with better picture resolution. Both cameras on this are outstandingly awesome. Now, for the full specs on this phone, please go to your nearest Apple store, like Apple website, apple.com, apple.ca, go to your, online Rogers, Bell, Kudo, Fido, whatever your carrier is that carries iPhones, and check out the specs on the 8. Very nice phone. Now, it does have some drawbacks to it, of course. One of which is it's made out of all glass, front and back. That scared the heck out of me. Actually made my wife really nervous because she's like, "You do know that's all glass, right?" Duh. I'll just buy a really good case for it. Yeah, but you're not leaving here with a case, and you drop phones. So it's like, well, then keep it in your purse until we get home, which is exactly what happened because it needed a charge anyway, right? So we had a case here that was reasonably safe for the phone, and we already had tempered glasses that'll fit it. There are tempered glasses, we buy them at the dollar store because they are equally as good as a $30, $40, or $50 glass you get anywhere else at the same hardness level, okay? And that's the thing. 9H, I think, is what these things are. And I mean, you can get 9H out of China for $1.25. You can get them at your dollar store for $1.50 to $2. You can get 9H name brand for about $30 or $40 on Amazon, Best Buy, The Source, and other places that are the same hardness level. They're just in a prettier box with a different name on it, same flipping glass. It is exactly the same glass. I'm not kidding you, okay? And I have dropped face-planted phones with these dollar store tempered glasses. The most I ever did is once I actually managed to shatter one of the glass protectors. So I peeled it off, and I'm like, I hope it saved it, and sure enough, not even a mark on my main screen. That's awesome, okay? So it has been known to happen where I do drop phones, and they have taken face plants. Now, OtterBoxes, I'm going to be doing a review on this, but the OtterBox, it has a plastic sheathing, basically, right? That's not going to protect the glass on your phone. You still need a tempered glass protector over the glass. Now, this goes for Apple phones as well as Android. None of them are exempt from this, okay? But anyways, they do have a cute little port on the back of the OtterBox where you can still, see your Apple logo. So that is a spot that hopefully you don't back plant it and get a stone back there, or you're going to wreck your phone. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty well protected. The phone is fine. But as far as clarity goes, the stereo speakers are really nice and really loud. Volume level is amazingly loud. Like I keep it full blast, ringer, full blast, everything, and I like loud, right? Noxious that way. But the sound quality is really good for the speakers. So whether you're using a speakerphone or you're listening to music just out in the open with it, it's fine. It does come with the Lightning port earbuds already, so it's just plug and go, so you cannot charge and listen at the same time. If you're using Bluetooth earbuds, of course, you can charge and listen at the same time, which is great. Or there's little adapters you can buy on the market where you can have a Lightning port on one side for your charger, and the other port is for your standard earbuds. So you can use any earbuds you want to use, whether they've got a wire or no wires, right? Everybody's different what they like, right? So there you go. As far as the earpiece goes, talking on the phone and yakking with people, outstanding clarity, great. Okay, no problems there. So really the only thing I can ding this phone on is the fact that it is made out of all glass, and that can be a scary proposition. This is why you need a very rigid and very good quality case for any phone that is made out of all glass. All right. Now, with running the 4K camera, I've run the 4K feature in it. It does not heat up the phone, which is nice. Like, I haven't experienced a heat up on it myself. So that's actually a good point. I had a Sony Xperia years ago when 4K cameras first came out on phones, and it actually destroyed the phone. the phone got so hot it shattered the entire backside of the phone. That did not thrill me because that was a really expensive phone, and of course, well, couriers, they don't have the best coverage on their phones, and especially when you're dealing with Bell. Bell will do anything to get out of fixing the problem properly. Hence, we deal with Rogers these days and have cut off Bell years ago, especially after that Sony Xperia problem. Anyways, I'm an iPhone fanatic for a reason. They have stronger antennas in them than Androids do. We've had the experience of trying to run Android phones out here. We have friends who have Androids that can't talk on their phones out here because, they suck. The phones are garbage as far as they have a very weak antenna system in them. And so we live about 8 kilometers or more from the nearest tower, and we live out in the country, okay? We're also in a deep valley as well, where we are in this area, so it's very difficult to push a signal out and through, but these phones do it really well, because even in the room here, I'm getting like 2 bars, which is unheard of even on an iPhone 6 or 6S in this house. My wife has a 6S, and she usually gets about 1 bar. I had a 6 originally, and I would get 1 bar. If I'm lucky, I might get 2. Somebody's dinging me. It's my buddy. I'll have to call him later. So the iPhone 8 is doing really good out here. I'm very impressed. I'm like, yes. I've only had 1 call dropout, which is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with it, because I've yacked on this thing a lot since I got it. Really putting it through its paces. Also stressing out the battery to see how long it would last. Watching videos, of course, and playing video games, you're going to suck the battery dry quick in comparison to just yakking on the phone and doing a little bit of video. Video, of course, in 4K will suck the battery back because it's really making this sucker work. But in 1080p, it's not going to suck it back so bad. 720, it's going to be even less pull on your battery, of course. If you're a video game player, yeah, you're going to be killing your battery a lot, but that's on any phone, okay? It's pretty much all cell phones come into the same categorized area when it comes to doing these certain things, that they are the hardest on batteries, right? It's kind of like my little, I've got a little, what the heck is this thing, Asus? Yeah, it's an Asus netbook, and if I'm just doing some surfing and a little bit of Facebook type stuff, it's great. The battery will last me for like almost the full 10-hour charge. If I start watching videos and stuff, that 10 hours rapidly gets decreased, okay? And that's just watching videos on YouTube, right? And so I had a little bit of fun with my netbook last night, and because I don't use it that much. It's only for setting up my students' Katana amps and their other hardware that requires software that I'm helping them with because they don't know how to do it. And of course my own gear that uses software and drivers. I bought the little tablet just for that. Keeps it away from my other computers. But anyways, as far as everything else goes about the phone, it's really, really good. I'm very impressed with this phone. Out of every cell phone I've owned so far, even Apple phones, this thing has definitely won over me 100%. I really like it. Now, why did I go back to a smartphone? Because some of you are going to be like, Cav, you had a smartphone. I know because I've seen your review on it. My 6 and probably other phones. I had the Alcatel flip phone. I wanted to get away from texting, right? And so this was my solution because it takes forever. It's like, my wife sent me a text. It takes her like 1/10 of a second to write down 15 words and boom, right? She's quick, right? Me replying, son of a bugger. Start over. Okay. This is like old school texting. It can drive you nuts. It made me want to go wing out the window a few times. Among other things that had happened with this one, this one seemed to have been, it's acting up as far as the ringer goes. Like sometimes I'll close the lid and it automatically lowers the volume down to vibrate. And it's like, huh? Shouldn't do that. Okay, open it back up. Okay, get back in there. Another thing I hate about this phone, I'm going to be doing an update review on this one, but is where the camera button is and stuff. But anyways, there will be an update review on this phone for sure. Now, it's still not going to probably go against it completely. I mean, if all you want is a simple basic phone, you're not going to be using it in your car for Bluetooth access. You're just going to yak on it, maybe take some snapshots, you know, fine. It's a great phone. It drove me mental. I said enough is enough, and I went back to a smartphone. Now, I had choices. I could have gotten a 6 or a 6S or a 7, but they're pretty much obsolete now, right? Well, the 7 isn't quite obsolete yet, but they're getting close. But the carrier that we deal with told us that, look, by next fall, Apple's cutting off the software updates for the iPhone 6s and below, and 7s they're not quite sure about yet. So it's going to be like 8 and above now. So it's like you might as well get current now and get it over with. And for the price cost difference per month, even with a zero down phone, because you are actually paying for the phone, by the way. They don't give you phones for free. They just don't get the money up front. It's part of your contract. Part of your payment is actually paying off your device. Anyways, some people are just, they don't realize that. But anyhow, for the cost difference between the 7 to the 8, I thought, you know what? I might as well go 8. I wanted the new 11, like the top of the line 11 with 3 cameras and all that jazz in it. It's like, woo, I really like that, you know? And, but then it was the cost per month, and it's like, I can't afford that. I got too many other things to pay for. And this is pushing it as it is, and it's like I'm borderlining with this one, but I thought, you know what? I got to stay current. And my wife's up for renewal on her phone soon, where she'll have hers paid off, and she's going to definitely upgrade to something bigger and badder ass. Probably go into an 8. She might even go a 10 or an 11. The thing is they're all glass now, right? It's kind of like you really got to have a good case with a glass phone, where the phone is all glass front and back, right? And so that is definitely a must important thing to have. That and the glass screen protector. A lot of people get fooled and they buy these film screen protectors, and it says screen protector. Okay, it's gonna stop the fingerprints from getting on the glass, but you're getting fingerprints now on that piece of plastic. Is that piece of plastic actually protecting your screen? No, it is not. Okay, it is just there to say that you're not getting actual fingerprints on the actual glass. And if you wanted to use one of these pens, okay, at least you're not going to put pock marks in the glass. You'll be putting that pressure up against that plastic screen, right? And it's kind of like, well, at least that kind of protects the glass in that sense, but not a lot of people carry around, you know, one of these pens to use with their phone, but some do. But either way, tempered glass, stay away from those film things. They're going to just wreck your machine in the end anyways if you drop it. It's not going to help. Anyways, 4.5 out of 5 is where I'm sitting at with this phone. I think that's more than fair enough. And I like the phone. I would highly recommend it. But if you do get an iPhone 8 or any iPhone or any Android phone even that is made out of complete glass front and back, do make sure that you get an extremely good quality case to protect it. Otherwise, you are going to be asking for nothing but grief in the end. Okay? That I will pretty much guarantee. Okay? About 99%. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, do stay tuned for an update review on the Alcatel, and stay tuned for the review on this OtterBox Defender case. And we're going to be talking about that as well. Until then, catch you later. Thanks for watching. Ciao.